Well, up first, let's get to the latest on the Prime Minister's whirlwind Europe tour, which has come to an end. He's now on his way back to India, but Prime Minister Narendra Modi met French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris on Wednesday and discussed issues of bilateral and mutual interest, as well as regional and global developments amid Russia's aggression against Ukraine.
India and France, in a joint statement, called for an immediate end to suffering of people in Ukraine and said they would respond in a coordinated and multilateral way to the risk the Ukraine conflict would intensify a global food crisis, with Ukraine one of the world's main wheat producers. However, only France condemned Russia's forces' illegal and justified aggression against Ukraine.
And ahead of his France arrival, the Prime Minister also attended the second India-Nordic Summit in Copenhagen.
In this, underlining the shared values of freedom and democracy and rules-based order with Nordic countries, Prime Minister Narendra Modi discussed the situation in Ukraine with the Prime Ministers of Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway and Iceland. Vishnu filed this report.
In a multilateral setting, as you can see, the Prime Minister meeting several leaders. India has joined the Prime Ministers of Iceland, Sweden, Norway, Finland and Denmark in unequivocally condemning civilian deaths in Ukraine. At the same time, Delhi has stopped short of outright condemning the unlawful and unprovoked aggression against Ukraine by Russian forces. So, Delhi threading a fine line, but progressively being more critical of the role of Russia in the invasion of Ukraine. So let me explain how. The joint statement says the Nordic Prime Ministers, not India, reiterated their strong condemnation of the unlawful and unprovoked aggression against Ukraine by Russian forces. As you can see, India is not mentioned here, even though this is a joint statement, just the Nordic Prime Ministers, but India's name not here. However, India does join the Nordic leaders in, let's just bring up the next point, in stating, and this is also there, that they unequivocally condemned civilian deaths in Ukraine. They reiterated the need for an immediate cessation of hostilities. They emphasized that the contemporary global order has been built on the UN Charter, international law, respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity. Again, it's interesting that India should mention the UN Charter, they should mention territorial integrity, but at the UN itself, India never voted against Russia on issues pertaining to Ukraine. So India again continues to thread a fine line on its Ukraine policy. It boils down to a choice of just a few words.